that you looked at and thought, oh, this was fantastic, beautiful football we can all eulogise about. It was roll your sleeves up, get into positions and be there and be hard to beat. And they've done that today. And then when you've got the players that they've got up front who can be opportunistic at times, they can score goals and finish things off, you're in with a chance.
Yeah, I think Rio summed it up perfectly. I thought the first 20 minutes were a little bit shaky, a little bit all over the place. But as soon as we moved Marshall into that left-hand side, I thought the discipline was there, the team shape was there. And you know what? It's not easy going to these places. Rio said at half-time, it's not easy going to these places, getting a result. And we won many games in that way. Just staying in the game, sticking to it. And you know at some point, whether it's lads who are on the pitch already, or you bring people on the bench, you're always going to have quality to score goals. And this might be a way of Manchester United playing. You can see them doing the same against Chelsea on Sunday, although it's still against a lot better opposition, don't get me wrong. Yeah. But that type of system, that type of way of playing, will be something he sticks with.
And the uproar, the noise, the media scrutiny, the emotion of the players having lost their manager and had someone else in charge this evening. It was just tonight, it was about getting this result, getting through to the knockout stages.
Yeah, look, even if it's not as pretty as you'd like it to be, get the job done. You know, that's what sport is at our level. Sport, get the job done. Eventually they can make it pretty. But I think David made some big saves, which is important for them. I think they started the game to get a draw. And then, obviously, the game was there to be won. We said at half-time, the game was there to be won. And you bring on Bruno, you bring on Marcus with Cristiano. Jadon was the best player on the pitch. Jadon looked like the Jadon that we saw at Dortmund at times that could win a game. So I think for Carras, that is a huge moment, really, because defensively, they've been all over the gaff. There's only 2 teams that Premier League conceded more. So to keep a clean sheet here is huge. And as Rhys said, with the attackers they have, they're going to score goals all the time.
Yeah. Of course, what it doesn't do is it doesn't answer the myriad of questions such as should it be an interim manager? Should the full-time replacement come in now? Is the hierarchy at Manchester United fit for purpose? Should it be more about football and less about finance at the very top of the football club? But we will answer all those questions because we're going to be live here until 8:30 this evening talking to our 3 guests who know so much about this great football club. So if you want to join in the conversation, you can ping us a message on Twitter, across social media. You can also now WhatsApp us as well. But we're going to be talking Manchester United and working out exactly where they go next. Like, what will you be saying to those players now, Paul? Just a congratulations?
Yeah, look, he'll be really happy. I'm sure he'll be thinking about Sunday now, to be honest with you. That's out of the way. Really disciplined performance, good performance, great win. Qualified through the group with a game to go, which is a big bonus. But I'm sure his attention now will be switching to Sunday.
I sometimes wonder how you feel when you're the outgoing manager and you look at a performance and a few of those players that looked a bit better tonight and you think, thanks, I could have done with that 3 or 4 days ago.
Yeah, I think managers that depart clubs the way Ollie did, I think they come to expect that. They know there's going to be a bounce in the squad. Someone's going to come alive that wasn't maybe producing the goods while they were there. But I think this performance is more about going back to type. This is the kind of performance that you saw the early part of Ollie's tenure when he went on that fabulous run before he got his contract. It was more about soaking up pressure sometimes and using the capabilities of the attacking players to go and hurt teams on the counter-attack. And like the lad said before, Chelsea at the weekend I think will be a replica of the second half performance today.
OK, well, let's get some instant reaction, actually. Michael Carrick is with Des. Sorry, not Michael Carrick. Talking to Des, Harry Maguire.
How important is that result in the context of everything that's been happening in the last few weeks?
Yeah, it's massive. It's massive for our season. We knew going into the game that the last couple of months have been nowhere near good enough, and tonight was a big important result that we needed to come here and get a result for our season, for our fans. We know how tough it's been for them in recent weeks, but we've got to make sure that's just a start. That's a start now. We need to push on.
It wasn't pretty in the whole because it didn't have to be, but you had to scrap for something tonight, didn't you?
Yeah, it wasn't pretty. The first half especially was tough, tight, edgy. 2 teams who wanted to go for the victory but knew that they couldn't lose the game as well. So it was important to stay in the game, stay in the tie, and then obviously we made the changes and freshened things up. And I thought that the lads who come off the bench really helped us and helped us push on, and we felt like we had that victory really from the second half. I thought the second half performance was really good.
Just when you were setting up for this game, though, was the emphasis on defence, getting through to half-time, getting that stability back?
Yeah, definitely. I think the emphasis was getting a result. We know how coming away from home is in Europe. You've got to set up solid. not give away things, not give away goals. I thought we did that really well. We executed the plan really well. And yeah, like I said, the second half I felt like we controlled it a lot better, especially after the 60th minute. And we probably got what we deserved in the end through the amount of chances that we created towards the end of the game.
Yeah, Ronaldo, he always does it.
Yeah, he's been brilliant. Obviously, he scored. That's what he's done. That's what he does throughout his career. And that's why we need to get back to being solid. We need to get back to keeping clean sheets, because we know that if you keep a clean sheet, you've got more than every opportunity to go and win the game, especially when he's up front.
And when you did open up in that last 30 minutes, Fred created both goals with the pressing and winning the ball, and that's what United need to do.
Yeah, definitely. I think as a Man United team, we want to be on the front foot. We want to be aggressive. We want to play at an high tempo. I felt like the first half was a little bit too edgy. We played probably with a little bit too much fear, but like I said, we were solid without really putting enough aggression and pressure on those when they had the ball. So we spoke about that at half time, and I think the first goal, like you said, come from that and Fred's pressure, and obviously it's a great finish from
Well, you're in the
Ronaldo.
knockout stages now in February, and Chelsea this weekend, so you're going to have to go up another level again, perhaps.
Yeah, of course. Like I said, it must be a start, and we must keep improving and keep pushing.
Thank you, Harry.
Thank you.
But you are. We're live talking about United until 8:30 this evening. Plenty about the clean sheets there from Harry Maguire. One man who will be delighted about that, Owen, is the goalkeeper.
Absolutely. I thought David was probably, the most influential player, really, especially in that first half when they were under a bit of pressure from Villarreal. We know they create. And David, this season has been fantastic. Obviously had a difficult game against Watford, as a lot of players did, but David made some big saves. And David created the platform for United to go and win the game. And they made some good changes, but I thought David was the one that, had his normal form. And I know the Scholes, he said at half-time, the saves he should make, but they're important saves, because I think it just gives the players a bit more confidence.
I think early in the game there's a nervousness, what was expected, given the form the
Yeah, I
team's
agree.
in. So you need behind the defence when it's going to be breached, because away from home it's always difficult, and your opposing team are going to create chances when you're in that type of form. And you need someone like that to be able to pull off them saves. And I think he's probably been our most consistent player this season, along with Cristiano, Owen was talking about before. And I think that there's no way you get big results away from home without your goalkeeper playing well a lot of the time. You need him to step up. And today he done what he's meant to do.
You also don't get those results, Paul, unless a certain player steps up and scores, which he has done in every Champions League game this season, which is incredible, by the way.
Yeah, look, it's what we expect from him now. Into crazy play from the goalkeeper, really. I think a little bit of overconfidence, you have to say. But Fred again was good tonight, especially in that second half. Very disciplined.
This is a bit different though, when it's depressed. They pushed up a bit higher
because he got a bit of confidence going late into the game. They knew they was in relative control of the game. Okay, they conceded a couple of chances with the keeper saving. But the keeper, that pass is just never run in a million years. It's so overconfident. Fred gets to the ball, which he's very good at. He's brilliant against the ball. It's his real strength, and keep it simple. Okay, he doesn't get the ball. It could possibly have been a foul there, really. But
watch it slow down here. Scholesy, watch Cristiano. There's Cristiano here. If you keep an eye on him there, watch he'll look. He has a little glance,
look. He has a little look. Look, there it is. Out the corner of his eye, he'll see the goalkeeper there. He knows that's the only finish he's got in him. And look, do we expect anything else from this lad?
Is that a hard finish? To get yourself turned and do that? Not fair.
I don't think so. The only thing he's got to do there, his feet, don't get me wrong, he moves his feet really well. But the only thing he's got to do there is get it all over the goalkeeper. It's virtually an empty net, really, and he does it well.
The thing is, if United minimise mistakes, keep clean sheets, only you can guarantee he's going to get your goal. Plus Bruno, plus Marcus, plus Martial, plus Jadon. If they sort the defence out and be a bit more compact, there's a blueprint there to go and win games. And obviously Jadon probably had his best game in United shirt. He looked like the player that can make the difference.
The trouble with United, if they play that way, if they concede a goal, it's very difficult for them to get back into the game. You see, against Manchester City, they started off that way. After 7 minutes, the game plan's gone out the window. And the same happens against Chelsea. They're not the type of team who can go and blast the team away. They can't control possession like Liverpool's, like City's can. So that game plan is great, as long as you keep us on form, you don't give too many chances away, and you don't concede a goal.
Here's the second goal here. I mean, I think the substitutes. I think Fred again plays his part in winning the ball. Cristiano, but then this is the run I like. Pass the ball forward from McTominay.
That makes a difference.
That's a big difference. And then the two subs combined here. Marcus Rashford, good awareness. Great first touch here from Bruno, and a ruthless finish from Jadon.
But this reminded me of when we used to play, so I actually say when you turn it over, first pass forward if you can. But and look at Jadon, you know, making a powerful run forward. You know, when we've seen him play for United this season, he hasn't sprinted it as much as he did at Dortmund. Today Scholes made a good point. He looked fit. He looks sharp. Yeah. And when he's fit, you can see the impact he can have on the team.
He looked fitter than he has done. And I was really pleased for him tonight. A young player.
I'll play it on here, some of these clips while you talk, Scholes. Go on.
Yeah, a really young player. He's had a difficult start, but I thought he was United's best player tonight. I think they need to use him more. It's almost... playing in this team is a little bit different because he doesn't have a flying fullback, which he had at Dortmund. I think that helps him because he's not an absolute flying machine himself.
This is what he wants to do, doesn't he?
That's exactly what he's good at. He wants to play, but he wants to play that further up into a centre forward and go and play somebody in. He's such a clever footballer. Really pleased with him getting his goal as well. And as I always say, I think he's fitter. You just look at him. He looks half a stone slimmer.
I think also I think it's his teammates understanding him and what he's about as well is a big part of it. Because I think when he signed, not many of the players really knew about him. And they expected him to be a flying winger, a flying machine who's going to go on the outside all the time. He's more intricate. He wants to play 1-2s, link things up.
He's a footballer.
And he needs people, exactly. He's a footballing winger. He wants people to be there, to be walls, play 1-2s off, slow the game down, and then injection of pace. And this is beautiful. That is him in a nutshell.
Even that clip alone, Scholes made the point of Hakimi. Hakimi was always on the overlap and he come inside. Wan-Bissaka just decoy and allows the defenders this is what I mean, that intensity. If he gets that into his game, he's going to score goals and create. But I think they need to get a partnership, him and Wan-Bissaka, whether he's on the outside or on the inside, link up with the centre forward. That's what he had at Dortmund. He had Hakimi and he had Haaland, and that little triangle was unplayable. And I think now he needs to find that partner who's going to play with him behind him and who's going to link up with him when he gets the 1-2s.
I think a lot of people, when criticising Man United under Ollie's guidance, have always said, they don't play enough football, they don't keep it, they don't do this. Their best way of playing has always been, under him, counter-attack football.
Yeah.
Has been sitting back, soaking up pressure. And even today, they're most comfortable. All the players on that pitch today look so much more comfortable when they were able to sit in, wait, be patient. And Scholes said, if you go a goal behind, it's difficult. But then, at the moment, they're looking for a way of playing that suits them. They're not in a position where they're afforded to go, we can be expansive and we can start trying to play
tonight, Manchester United looking to regain their famous old form, which has been deserting them for a while now. Look, we spoke when we first came on air, what would be different tonight from Manchester United? Do we have an answer at half-time?
Not much, performance-wise, but we all know sitting here that it's difficult going away from home. Villarreal, no mugs. They haven't got their full team out. The two forwards aren't the natural forwards that they normally play, but it's still a hard place to go and play football. The performance isn't what you want, but being in the game still is what they've been hoping for before the game kicked off.
Yeah, I agree. It felt like the first 20 minutes was a 0-0 battering, really. Manchester United were all over the place. The shape, I didn't understand what they were trying to do. It looked like a 4-3. Cristiano, Martial up front, and Jadon Sancho on the right-hand side. They left the left-hand side completely free, and Fred was having to get that out there all the time. It wasn't until after about 21, 22 minutes, I think it was, when they brought Martial out to the left-hand side, that the shape changed, and they did seem to get a little bit of control. But the quality of play has to be better in the middle of the pitch. When you've got players at a pace of Martial on one side, Sancho on the other side, you've got to use that.
Jadon looks good. Jadon looks sharp. Jadon looks like something can happen every time he gets it. But otherwise, I think both teams look like they started the game. They play for a draw, and it feels like that. I think United, with the team selection, don't want to lose the game, and they played a bit like that way in the first half. But look, they've conceded a ton of goals, and they've got a clean sheet so far. So that's a positive. Plus, you can bring Marcus off the bench. You can bring Fernandes off the bench. The game's there to be won. That's for sure.
But also the opponents are there to be dangerous. And we know they're good at home, and they've had some chances. It felt early on with De Gea making saves and Cristiano having the odd chance, like we've been here before.
Yeah, and at no time in the game did I feel completely comfortable when Villarreal had the ball. And you see here, when they get in and around these areas, they are willing to shoot. And David De Gea called upon a few times in this half to make sure that the ball keeps out of the net.
Again, there was just no urgency about the team, was there? No closing down, no urgency to go and stop the other team playing.
Still quite easy to get through, aren't they?
Easy to play against. So that was the first 20 minutes. I think the shape did change a little bit. And look, these are saves David should be making. There's no doubt about that. They're decent chances, but really David should be saving these chances.
What do you want to see in the second half from United, Owen?
Probably just a bit more urgency, a bit more energy, a bit more pressing. I think David made a few saves there. I think Carlos will change it in the second half. I think he'll tweak it. I think he'll get some more attacking players on the pitch. Again, I think the game's there to be won, and that's tough against a team like Villarreal, but they could score in the second half as well. So I'm sure we'll get a better second half.
I hope so. It's not been a great spectacle, has it?
No, it's been a bore draw, but we'd look to see some improvements after it. A bit of rousing talk from Michael Carrick at half-time.
We shall see what happens. After 2 clean sheets in just 25, perhaps Owen's right. A clean sheet itself would actually be a success for